Alright, this is part 2 of the open wound care for chickens video. My phone just randomly turned off. Awesome. Alright, here's your warning. This is your only warning. These are going to get rough for a while. So turn it off if you don't want to see this. This is dog attack chicken injuries. So here we go. This is the day of the attack. I didn't even have the heart to look at her wounds. I wrapped her up after I got her. Well, that's not true. I wrapped her up because she was actively bleeding, and I wanted to at least try to get some of that bleeding under control and keep the ointment on the areas, because she kept trying to clean the feathers that didn't exist in the area. So I wrapped her up to keep her from damaging herself, really. All right, so this is day 1. This is the first day after the attack, basically, and the second day after the attack. So day 1 and 2. Here is the injury from the dog's canine tooth. I'm kind of circling it with my cursor. And then I use this quill here. It's in all 3 pictures as kind of my landmark. So I watch this quill. So I kind of know the lay of the land. So this is that same canine tooth puncture wound. And here is that puncture wound again on day 3. We can see the skin that didn't get ripped off. All of these other areas of skin here I had to trim because they were just too damaged. And I think I did come back in a little later and I trimmed this up a little bit more. You can see a little bit of discoloration up here, some discoloration down here. It's a mess. Day 4, we've got a lot of swelling by the vent. This is probably the first picture you can really see it in. This was, I remember, it was so bad. I was so worried that she wasn't going to be able to defecate. And I thought she might die just because she couldn't poop. But as you can see in the tub, she could poop just fine. But yeah, so this was just after her daily bath. I gave her a bath in these little gray tubs every day so that I could make sure she stayed clean. And let's see, day 7, we can see a lot of changes between day 4 and 7. So there's you can see, this is her oil gland sticking out, just there. Hello. But we finally got some, the blood vessels are starting to dry up. They're starting to pull back away from the surface. So it's looking less angry. It still looks gross, but it's less angry. This is day 8, and still a lot of improvement. Here's that strap of skin that didn't get ripped off. She did lose her entire tail, and her tail is still, it's forever paralyzed. She doesn't lift it up when she walks around, but I didn't notice that until she got her full tail back. I couldn't tell. So this is day 13. We've got a lot of, nice a covering for the wound. I am still applying. You still need to keep that wound moist. It's still going to penetrate the covering and the scab, if you will, and help heal what's underneath. So it's still important to keep it moist every day and keep it clean. I did let her go outside for a little yard time starting about day 7, I think. So this just helps keep her spirits up. And this is day 20. Day 20 was interesting because this was the day that my chicken Nova got attacked by a fox, which was awesome. We had a really really crappy year last year. But you can see, look, all the feathers. It's just she looks so good. You can still see a little bit of damage underneath where there's still a bald spot, but here's some pictures from Nova's injuries from the fox and how I addressed those. So her injuries were much, much less severe. So there was a tear in the skin, but she's not missing skin and it's not a flap, so I didn't have to cut anything. I did clip away the feathers, but I didn't cut any of the skin itself. I put a big dollop of ointment on there, and I used these little sticky suture type things. They're like $1. You get like a dozen for $1 from Walmart. yeah, Walmart. So, I mean, these are great to have on hand in your chicken supply kit. So, just a less severe injury, but really easy way to address it. I think Nova was probably in the house for all of 4 days before her wound had a nice solid covering on it, and I could let her go back outside. In the end, just remember, it gets worse before it gets better. So this is like day 3 or 4 on the left, and then that was day 20 on the right. So, it's gonna look really bad. Keep with it. Chickens are really resilient, and they will pull through. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. Thank you for visiting the Little Green Farmstead, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.